Welcome viewers to Parties Extra. I'm Helen Ford Wallace, and we are with Margo Ward, Beaux Arts Ball Chairman, and Aimee Harlow, Ball Co-Chairman at the Oklahoman's Video Studio. Welcome back, you all.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, it's the exciting time of the year, so it's coming up pretty soon. Tell us about it, Margo.
The ball is Saturday, November 30th. And we've been working since basically the day after the last ball. And it's the 74th annual Beaux Arts Ball. Lots of history there. And
74.
74.
Goodness sakes. Well, it's at the country club.
The Oklahoma City Golf and Country Club.
And that's tradition, too.
It's been other places in the past, but for a long time, the country club, and it's a wonderful space to have it. The Fleuriste this year will transform it. And it'll be...
What will it look like?
Well...
Is that a secret?
I keep wearing blue to things. So
that might be a hint.
Maybe a hint.
Great.
We just want to have a lovely evening for the families, and there are 17 debutantes this year, and wonderful young ladies that are sophomores in college, and the boys are juniors in college. They are the escorts, and we have 12 escorts.
I see. So it's a small court, but really powerful court.
And there's 3 sets of siblings, boy, girl.
Really?
3 sets of boy, girl, brother, sister, siblings.
Well, okay, so then you have a king. So tell us about that.
Well, the king is traditionally kept a secret, his identity. He is chosen in the springtime, and he accepts, and his identity is kept secret for many, many months, and it's really a fun part of the ball where everyone's guessing who he is. We have him hidden down in secret compartments within the country club that no one knows. Sneak in a few photos. He sneaks in a meal with his family and very close friends, and then he is presented by 2 adorable pages who are generally 1st and 2nd grade young men. And Margo's son is a page this year.
Good.
He's an adorable, adorable
Yes.
child. And everyone just is so excited when the king is presented. He is presented after the parade of the past kings, which men from all over the United States generally come back and enjoy their dinner, enjoy lining up and the camaraderie associated with that, and parade in, and they are followed by the announcement of the king. Then the escorts come in 2 by 2, the young men, and then the beautiful debutantes are escorted in by their fathers after that.
How nice.
So maybe I gave you too much information, but that's how the program kind of works.
I want to know what the king wears, because once upon a time, and you may have found that in your history, you girls are into history, they wore crowns and capes.
They held a huge scepter,
a
crown, I mean a big kind of cape,
ermine.
Velvet.
And ermine. Yes, the whole works.
I guess one year someone finally said, I really don't want to wear that big thing on my head. So they wear, tails, black tie, boutonniere, or a king sash, and special king pin, so they look very handsome.
And
white gloves.
That's very perfect. So, and the girls wear these gorgeous dresses.
Gorgeous one-piece white gowns, and they have white kid gloves, leather gloves, pearl earrings, pearl necklaces. Very traditional. We don't let them wear much sequins or
very elegant white simple gowns, and they must be full in order for them to take their proper bow, which is a tricky thing, and there are practices throughout the year to help the girls understand how to make the proper bow presentation to the king, and it's just a very proud moment for the girls and their fathers. And the whole court
is just looking very fine. And the escorts, what do they wear?
They wear black tie as well. They have white gloves, white bow tie, a boutonniere, a sash, and a medallion, and cufflinks, and they just look handsome as well. Some have to shave and have the proper haircut, but they look very handsome.
And bouquets, the girls?
The girls carry gorgeous bouquets, and
so they have to maneuver their long dress, their bouquet for this bow, and that's a big bow.
Yes, in front of the king.
That's amazing.
We don't make them touch their nose to the ground, as in some historical debutante
Is that right?
presentations. They don't have to go that low, but they very much do a good job.
Okay, so, and the dad's escort, or the escorts?
Yes, and actually that started in 1997. For a while it was, actually in 1945 was a costume ball, and then the next year when Eleanor Kirkpatrick was the first chairman, it was, they presented 7 debutantes, and they introduced the king, and there was actually a queen back then. And then after a while, a few decades later, they introduced the escorts and got rid of the costume ball, and it became a black tie affair, I think in 1965. And then the dads.
Listen to you. That's great.
Well, as we prepare for the 75th annual next year,
you gotta know all that.
We've been. I've gotten really sentimental looking back at all the history, and so yes, the fathers came in as walking their daughters in and presenting them to the king in 1997. So, not a lot has changed, but there have been some tweaks along the way. But what has stayed the same is our ball raises money for the Oklahoma City Art Museum through the Beaux Arts Acquisitions Fund, and to this day there are 41 pieces of artwork in the museum through the Beaux Arts Acquisition Fund, and we're very proud of that. The most notable is the Eleanor Blake Kirkpatrick Memorial, the Dale Chihuly. Everyone notices when you walk in.
That is beautiful.
It is stunning, and a lot of people don't know that's from the Beaux Arts Fund, so we're very proud of that.
Does it, is that exhibit up all year, or do they just bring it up in November?
The Dale Chihuly
is
hopefully
up
was up there and will be there forever. And but I think the 41 pieces of art, I think they rotate them in and out, but there's always, you know, you can see on the card it says Beaux Arts,
and
purchased
those are very
by the
good
fund.
acquisitions, you all.
Beautiful pieces.
So that's kind of fun.
And that's why we have in June, we pick a day in June usually to have the Oklahoman take their photos. They have their first bow practice, and then that night usually the museum kindly hosts a big party, and it kind of kicks off the season for the Debs, the escorts, their families, the board of trustees, and that way the Debs and escorts really, it comes full circle of how much the museum means to this city, and hopefully we're helping them become philanthropic leaders of the community. So
that's awesome.
We're thankful to the museum for hosting that each year.
And then there are parties all through the summer, is that right, that the Debs and escorts host?
The families kind of pair off by groups of friends or schools or just however they want to do it. And it helps the kids get to know each other through the summer. And they had an Andy Warhol theme this year.
Oh, good.
And there's going to be a Casino Royale event the night before Thanksgiving, I think. So that's a special time for the families and the Debs and escorts to hang out and get to know each other.
Very fun. A little break from their college experience.
So how many people come to the ball?
Well, we hope nearly 500. Some years it's 600. You know, the OU OSU football game is the day of the ball. I think everyone's waiting for the announcement of game time, but hopefully that won't interfere. If so, I read in the history where, you know, that's happened obviously several years where the big Bedlam game is the same day of the ball.
And you have lots of TVs around.
We'll have TVs. So, yes, the ball starts at 7 o'clock, the doors open, and then at 7:25, those darling page boys ring the gong to signal everyone to sit down for dinner. And they eat a 3-course meal and have dessert.
And it sounds very tasty too.
Oh.
So tell what you're going to have.
Well,
I mean, some of it, you know,
a fillet, and actually this year there's quail.
Oklahoma quail.
Yeah. It is delicious.
Delicious stuffed quail.
We got to do a little tasting. So there's a new chef at the country club, so it was exciting to work with him to come up with a lovely meal.
That is awesome.
And a preset dessert. And at 9 o'clock the chimes ring, and as she said, the procession of the past king signals the start of the ball, and it has since the beginning of time, and then the new king is presented, and then the presentation, and then party time. And Dave and the Wave Tones is still our band, and they do a fabulous job getting everyone out on the dance floor.
And they love to do it.
Yes, they do.
And you all have a committee, don't you?
We
working
do.
with you?
We have the chair, the co-chair, and 27 hardworking committee members. It runs very, very well. It's a well-oiled machine with everyone doing their part.
It really is.
And we have a nice time together as well.
And so next year with the 75th, is that going to be real special, Aimee?
Well,
You'll be the chairman.
I hope so. And it's been a really fun thing to contemplate doing the 75th. And the history behind that, with all the wonderful leaders in our community who have been kings and their wives, our queens, the beautiful families that have benefited from the tradition of this wonderful evening. I'm excited about it. We're going to start working on some kind of book or something very, very soon. So I'm going to enlist the help of a number of people, historians, people in the media. I know I've reached out to you already. Thank you. And the Oklahoman is going to be a part of that, I hope, to provide us a lot of good information from your archives. So we're thrilled about it.
It'll be fun.
We're excited.
And you added something new this year. You had a series of parties on a one-night stand, 5 to 7. So tell us about that.
In October, right after the invitations had gone out, we thought it'd be fun kind of as it rolled into the season. We had all the past chairmen and past queens, which would have been spouses of the kings at one time. And we had about 40 people gather. And the same time, the kings got together, and our past king host a stag party, and that was at the country club. And then my husband helped our husbands of the committee get together. So at the
That was kind of cool, too.
At the same night, from the same time, all 3 parties were going on, just to kind of
get everybody ready.
Get excited for the countdown. So.
That former King's Stag Party, that's been going on a while, I think. And they have a great time. They all like to come.
They love it.
Wait to get there.
They have a special bond. So
isn't that interesting?
They love it.
I think that, and then to have the committee members, that's outstanding. The past chairman, that's outstanding.
Yes. Well, the night of the ball, we get there as early as 3:30, and we're there till 12:30. And the girls, they get dressed. They have tons of photos and another bow practice. They're getting ready, and so it's fun for the committee to get to hang out and really get to know each other before the ball.
And you have committee members in charge of various, like photography and
court attire, and arrangements, general seating, court seating.
Floral.
Hospitality. Yes, there's a job for everyone.
Well, they work hard.
It does require 29 people to put this on properly. So.
And that night, that group they're rocking and rolling because there's a lot to do.
The kings are having their party, the guests and the court families are having their dinner, the committees.
The photos are going on with the families.
There's a lot going on.
It is kind of an amazing
Logistics are key to the well-run party, for sure.
6 events going on within one night, all at the same place.
And we do have that little hint of blue for the decorations, so I will remember that. That's very fine. Okay, well, anything else now that we've missed about the Debs and they're connected to the ball in some way. Most of the Debs and escorts their families have been in the ball or had some connection to it.
A granddad was a king.
Or they're in the community working, and that's your king too. He's very community oriented.
Yeah,
he's been
a leader in our community who's done a lot in our community, and then his family generally follows suit and is a giving person and a well-known person normally in our community. So it's a lot of fun to reveal who that is.
Very traditional, very community oriented, and very beautiful.
Yes.
One of the prettiest balls of the whole
It's really just a
year.
Joyous family event. And it also benefits our beautiful city and beautifying our city through Oklahoma City Museum of Art donations, going back to Eleanor Kirkpatrick. So we honor her.
For sure.
Today.
Okay, anything else?
No, thank you for having us.
We're so glad you came. And Margo and Aimee, we thank you all for working so hard on this special Oklahoma City event. It's wonderful to know that the tradition of the Beaux Arts Ball is continuing to grow. I know it will be a huge success because both of you all are so well organized and fun to be with. You know, Margo, I think you're so thorough in all the things you do, and both of you are out there in the community all the time. Have a wonderful party, raise lots of money for the Oklahoma City Museum of Art. Thank you all.